Michelin stars are given to restaurants that have the most renowned chefs and that feature some of the most exquisitive meals. And I have been privileged enough to visit quite a few Michelin restaurants within my lifetime. The restaurants are actually given a star, anywhere from 1 to 3, obviously 3 being the most magnificent and 1 still being amazing. It's really difficult to get this recognition. However, when you do, it attracts a certain clientele to your restaurant. And this video is kind of an analysis as someone who's been to quite a few Michelin restaurants as to what they have taught me about value. So I was just doing a little bit of comparisons of Michelin restaurants versus normal restaurants. And I found some very unique differences. And I think that we can make an argument that there is a deeper meaning here and that we can relate this same idea to people in the world. Some are Michelin rated and some are just average, and that's kind of how it works, right? There's always going to be a scale where the majority fall into the middle, they fall into the average, and then there are those outliers both on the left-hand side and the right. So one thing that is unique about Michelin restaurants is they have a set menu. So the menu is not something you can substitute. It's not something you can change. Of course, they ask if there are any allergies or things like that. However, beyond that, it is a fixed meal, right? There is however many courses, it's going to come in the order that it's meant to, and they're going to serve you whatever it is that they've created. They don't need your input. They really don't care if you prefer chicken over fish. They don't care if you prefer more seasonings or less seasonings, because they already have established that they are one of the best restaurants in the world. So they don't really care to make any adjustments or to tweak anything, right? It's kind of like walking into a Cartier store and saying, I really like this bracelet, but could you make this adjustment? Could you add this? Could you take this away? They're gonna look at you and be like, no. Because we have thousands of other clients that love this just as is. And there is a lesson there when it comes to worth, when it comes to value. Are there people in your life who meet you and they say, you know, you're really awesome, you're really great, but your laugh is just a little bit too loud for me. Your style is just a little bit too edgy for me. Your hair is just a little bit too curly for me. If someone were to come in your life and tell you that you should change, that you should make an adjustment, that you should turn this down a little bit or tweak this a little bit, how would you respond to that? Because I tried to look at things as if I was the Michelin restaurant. If a client comes to me and says, hey, you know, I love what you're doing, but could you maybe change this a little bit? Could you do this? I will take that with a grain of salt, because I want to present myself in a way in which I'm confident and that I know that whatever I'm offering is the best that there is. There is no improvement. There is no refinement. And if you want to come and make substitutions as if you would at a lower level restaurant, then that tells me you don't value me. You don't see my worth. You don't see the stars that the restaurant has garnered. And so nobody would dare step foot in a Michelin restaurant and tell the chef, oh, you know, the food didn't have enough salt, or this was overcooked, or I prefer it this way. No, they feel honored that they would even get a reservation at this restaurant. They feel privileged that they would even get a seat in this place. And so That's kind of the same mentality that one should have in the dating market. If you meet a guy and he tells you, you know, I really like you, but I prefer girls who have a darker tan. Do you mind getting a spray tan? I'm gonna be like, no, thank you. You can find 100 other girls who have the tan that you desire, but this is me and I love me. Back when I was single, I had gone on a few dates with this guy and he told me, for some reason, I don't feel as strongly with you as I did with my ex. And you know what I told that guy? You should move on then. I didn't tell him, oh, well, don't worry, you know, feelings are gonna develop. You know, as time goes on, I'm sure that we're gonna get there. I'm sure you're gonna like me as much as you liked her. No, I simply cut it right there. Well, if you felt better about her than you did me, you should probably go back to her, because I'm not her. So your aura should emanate this sense of confidence, this sense of, this is me, this is who I am, I'm proud of me. And if you need to make tweaks or adjustments to that, then there's the door. Because that's how a Michelin restaurant would do it. The other thing that I found quite interesting was the wardrobe of the people who attended these restaurants. So many of these Michelin restaurants have a certain dress code, you know, like jackets for men, no jeans, things like that. But a lot of the times my husband and I noticed people were not really taking the dress code into account. You know, like we saw people with dirty tennis shoes. We saw people who were dressed with hoodies. These people were still allowed inside the restaurant. And so it had me thinking, why is it that people come to this restaurant and dress average, but then if you go to a Mastro's or a Ruth's Chris or, you know, a regular steakhouse, you find people are dressed to the T, are, you know, doing the most, are really trying to impress. And then it came back to value again. It's because the people who go to Ruth's Chris, Mastro's, they need to put on that extra high heel, that hairdo, whatever, in order to feel worthy, in order to feel like they belong. Those people dress up because they want to have this certain level of look, this certain level of attraction. They want to fit in with the crowd. On the other hand, the people who are going to eat Michelin, the amount of money that they're spending, they don't need to compensate with a nice outfit. They don't need to put on something that looks expensive. They don't need to belong because they've already paid for a seat at the table. And them paying for that reservation, paying for that meal, already displayed their worth. And so this is why you see billionaires wearing white tees, jeans, and sneakers. This is why you see Bill Gates dressed like an average Joe, because he already knows his worth. He knows his value. He knows that an outfit doesn't determine who he is. Everyone knows him. Everyone recognizes Bill Gates and the legacy that he's created with or without a Rolex on. Inside or outside of a Ferrari, they know Bill Gates. He doesn't need to have all of those external things to dictate his worth and value, because his worth and value is innate. He knows it and everyone else does. And so all this to say, I'm not insinuating like dress like a slob, who cares, you're paying a expensive bill, that's enough. But my point is that those who truly are embodied in their worth and their value, they know that an outfit doesn't define them. They already know what their worth is, what their value is. They already know that They're able to be in this space, to be in this room, and that in and of itself is valuable. And so it was interesting to me that it seemed like those who were going to average restaurants or regular steakhouses were dressing at such a high level, perhaps even compensating because maybe they felt out of place. Maybe this was a once in a year occasion. Maybe they were only there to celebrate an anniversary or a birthday, but it's not generally within their budget or their price range to go to that restaurant. While the people who were going to Michelin restaurants were dressed normally. And it's because they felt comfortable in their skin. They knew their worth and value beyond what was being worn. They understood that simply affording a place at that restaurant was enough to prove their worth. The other thing that distinguished the two was that most restaurants cater to just about everyone. Their price range is so that almost anyone can dine there, right? Even let's say if someone was on a budget, they could be able to order an appetizer or a side dish or something small, right? They could maybe even just go and have a drink. And so basically everyone was able to dine at this place. On the other hand, at the Michelin restaurant, there are very few options in terms of dining. You're either going to have the 8-course selection, the 12-course selection, or the 15-course selection. And for drinks, you're either going to do the wine pairing or, here's their cocktail list. So you're quite limited in terms of the price range. They are only targeting a specific type of customer. This had me thinking about dating once again. You should only be targeting a specific partner, a specific type of person. If your target is everyone, is males age 30 to 50, anywhere, doing anything, you are going to attract all sorts of people from all walks of life. And they are likely going to be dressing the part to compensate because they know that they lack value and worth to actually deserve a person like you. On the other hand, if you make your target a niche, if you narrow that target to be guys from 35 to 45 who have gotten a bachelor's degree and who live in America, you're now narrowing the pool and you're selecting from a more targeted group of individuals. And so these people will tend to have more worth and tend to have more value because they've established the things that you're checking off the box, right? They've gone to the college. They live in America. They are this age. So they're actually fitting the parameters that you're seeking. And so that's exactly what a Michelin restaurant does. They don't say everyone is welcome. We have a kids menu, we have appetizers if you only want to come for happy hour, and we have the 8-course and we have the 12-course. No, they're saying this restaurant is simply only for people who are seeking an experience, a lavish dining experience, unlike any other. They're going to be wanting to sit here for 3 hours to learn about where these ingredients came from. These people are health conscious. They care about what they're eating. They want to know that the food is coming from local farmers. They want to, they really care about every single step of the experience. They're not just there to, order mac and cheese and take a picture and go home. They want to learn about this whole cuisine. They want to have a culinary experience. And that is what you should be. That is what you should offer. You should be that Michelin restaurant that isn't like every other girl, that isn't like every other person, but you're offering something top tier. You're offering something that's only available to those that are high quality, to those who have a taste for that level of precision and dedication. Michelin restaurants taught me that yes, value and worth is innate. We're all born valuable, but unfortunately, some of us along the way lose that. We forget that. And we start thinking that we need to dress a certain way. We need to do our hair a certain way. We need to do all these external things to be accepted, but it's because we haven't accepted ourselves. And until we accept ourselves and view ourselves as the queen, the king that we are, then we're going to keep going to those average places, just like everyone else, trying to fit in. We're never going to strive to go to that high quality experience, that niche experience that only very few can enjoy and have the actual budget and the taste for. So I don't know about you guys, but I would rather be a Michelin restaurant any day of the week. I really like that concept of only having like 10, 12 tables, and the people in there are really high quality. They really want to be there. They've invested their time and their energy into this experience, and they're all there with that same common goal. They don't want to substitute. They don't want to change things. They don't want to force it. They're there to experience that restaurant, to see the beauty of what it takes to get those stars by the restaurant name. So let me know down in the comments, have you ever been to a Michelin restaurant? I'm curious to know. I also want to just send you guys all my love for being here. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.